was William Hamilton of Bangour? William Hamilton was born at Bangour House in 1704. He was the second son of James Hamilton of Bangour. James Hamilton was an advocate who became heir to his father's estate on the 4th of January 1679. James Hamilton, advocate, married Elizabeth, daughter of John Hamilton of Murray's, Linlithgowshire. John Hamilton of Little Earnot, Lanarkshire, his second son, named James Hamilton, founded the Bangour estate. James Hamilton, the founder's grandson, was also called James Hamilton and was the father to the poet William Hamilton. On the 6th of April 1706, after James Hamilton had passed, Elizabeth married again to Sir John Dalrymple, 1st Earl of Stair. He was the son to James Dalrymple, 1st Viscount of Stair. Sir John Dalrymple became Lord Advocate and Secretary of State. A government inquiry traced the orders for the infamous massacre of Glencoe in 1692 to the Secretary, and he was forced to resign in 1695. In 1703, he was raised a step up in the peerage from a Viscount to an Earl. He was involved in the political wrangling of the Union settlement. The Bangour estate was then passed to James Hamilton's first son, John Hamilton of Bangour, William's older brother, who succeeded as heir on the 6th of August 1706. William Hamilton of Bangour also had a sister, Margaret, who married Robert Dalzell, 5th Earl of Carnwath, on the 15th of November 1728. William Hamilton was university educated and took particular interest in the classical writers of ancient times. He spent much of his time in solitude, favouring his studies and writings over social gatherings and engaging with the fashionable of the time. He is described as being thin, with a long neck, a small dint on the top of his nose near the point, and possessed a delicate nature, so preferred his own company over that of others. He did, however, count men such as David Hume, Adam Smith, Lord Kames, and Allan Ramsay amongst his friends. His work was included in Allan Ramsay's tea table Miscellany in 1723. Adam Smith edited his first collection of poems and songs, Poems on Several Occasions, which was published by the Foulis Press in 1748. Known to be a traveller, he was abroad in the winter of 1739 to 1740. The poet did not remain abroad for long, as he had fallen in love with a lady called Catherine. He married Catherine, sister to Sir James Hall Dunglass, in 1743. They had a son, James Hamilton, born in 1744. Catherine fell ill and died in October of 1745. Due to his family ties, particularly his sister being the wife to the 6th Earl of Carnwath, he was a supporter of the Jacobite movement. In his Gladsmuir, celebrated the Jacobite victory at Prestonpans. He was also said to be present at the victory of Falkirk. Deaf to ambition and to interest's call, honour my titles, and enough my all. No pimp of pleasure, and no slave of state, serene from fools, and guiltless of the great. Some calm and undisturbed, retreat I'll choose, dear to myself and friends. After the Jacobite loss at Culloden, he was forced into hiding in the Highlands for a short time. A soliloquy was wrote during this time, expressing his feelings of being a fugitive. Now in this sad and dismal hour of multiplied distress, has any former thought the power to make thy sorrows less? When all around thee cruel snares threaten thy destined breath, every sharp reflection bears want, exile, chains, or death. Hamilton fled to France after the failure to restore a Stuart monarch to the throne of Britain. He lived in France for 3 years, but when the Act of Indemnity and Free Pardon was passed on the 17th of June 1747, William came under general exception of all persons concerned in the late rebellion and who have been beyond the seas at any time between the 20th of July 1745 and the 15th of June 1747. While overseas, Hamilton avoided the affairs of the Jacobites. This meant in 1749 he could make peace with the British government and return to Scotland. John Hamilton of Bangour died as a bachelor on the 8th of May 1750 without issue, and the estate was passed on to his younger brother William Hamilton. In March 1751, William, still a widower, speaks of a foreign lover who he named Laura. What is known is that he remarried Elizabeth Dalrymple in 1752. Elizabeth Dalrymple outlived William and died on the 5th of September 1779. Hamilton is reckoned to not have fully recovered from his ordeal as a fugitive, and so returned to France for a milder climate and to aid his health. He died in Lyons, France on the 25th of March 1754 at the age of 50. His remains returned to Scotland, and on Friday the 24th of August his remains were placed at Abbey Church through at Holyrood. His estate was succeeded by James Hamilton, his son to his first wife, Catherine.